I want to thank the manufacturer for sending me the electric fireplace. There's several ways that you can install these. You can recess them into the wall, you can hang them on the wall, you can build around them. What I'm going to do today is just show you how to hang it on the wall. Now, you're only going to need some basic tools. You'll need a drill, you'll need a level, a tape measure, and something to mark the wall with, like a pencil or a pen. It's always good to have a stud finder too. It comes with wall anchors, and you won't necessarily need them to go into studs in your wall, but if you can find some and get a couple of screws into studs, it's always better to be in those than it is to just use wall anchors, if you can be. I have a choice to make here. I can either use my original center, which will line up the holes in a way that I'll have to use 100% wall anchors, or I can make this my center hole and use wall anchors in the other 4 if I have to, but it'll give me the option to be in the center in a stud, and that's the option I'm going to take. Hole that I'm using in the center is in a stud. It's going to make the rest of this really easy because all I'm going to do is go ahead and insert that one, and now I'm going to just use my level and mark the other holes, turn this to the side, and put my wall anchors in. Now we actually hit stud on this one and this one, so the only place I'm going to need wall anchors is going to be here and here. Now the kit comes with plenty of hardware, but if you do happen to mess up a wall anchor or strip a screw, don't worry because it comes with plenty of extra hardware too. So I used a 13/64 drill bit to drill this out and ended up having to go a little bit bigger on the holes with the wall anchors. And I didn't have to even drill the holes for the screws. I just stopped at the stud. The next thing you're going to want to do is to remove the glass. And all you have to do that is slide it up and tilt it outward. And then just set it somewhere soft. Now the hooks on our fireplace are already on here. And there's one on each side. That one over there and this one over here. And super simple. You just put it on the bracket and let it rest. And because I chose to go into the studs rather than using all wall anchors, it is a bit off center, but that's okay because it actually lined up perfectly with the cord dropping straight to the outlet. And if I want to conceal that later, it'll be super easy to do because I can build out around this with 2x4s. And the next thing we're going to do is just place these into this groove. And the way these are cut is like an odd shape. So you should be able to get them all in there, covering this up pretty well. And from here, it's pretty simple. And we're just going to put the glass right back in where we got it out of. And be careful not to get those wires underneath. Those springs need to be depressed behind this glass. And really the final step is to use these screws to lock the glass in these holes here. There's 4 of these. There's one there, little arrows pointing to. And now the glass is locked in, so there's no worries about a kid coming by and knocking the glass off and getting hit by it or anything like that. Now, once you're finished putting it all together and getting it up, I would recommend just cleaning the glass because your hands have been on it, putting it on and whatnot. Now, when you clean the glass, you want to be careful not to get anything in this area where the actual heat comes out. So I recommend spraying your cloth and then just using the cloth to go around it. Now, of course, you can operate it right here. You've got all those controls there, and they'll turn off after you don't use them for a while. You've also got them on the remote control, and you can control everything with this. Obviously, your power button. You've also got the ability to control the flame speed, the crystal color, the color of the flame. You've got timers, you've got the heater function. You don't have to run this with the heater. You can run it without the heater if you just like looking at it. Maybe you want a fireplace in the summertime, but you don't want the heat. You can also lock this just in case you want it set and you don't want kids coming around changing the way you have it set. The speed of the flame there, which let's turn it on the heater and see how it sounds. Oh, it's putting out heat immediately. I like it because the heater actually looks like part of the flame. If you look in the heater, it doesn't just look red, it actually looks the color of the flames. There's no doubt about it. It puts out a good amount of heat. So H2 would be the highest. H1 would be medium, I guess, and L would be low. It's putting out a good amount of heat. Even on H1, it put out a good amount of heat. And the nice thing is, it's really kind of quiet. You can hear it, but it's not overwhelming at all. It's not even as loud as the smaller space heaters that I have.